Welcome back to the Henderson Show. This is Gregory here with my right-hand man,
Uptown Waller.
You know how we do. Recapping the Wizards versus Portland Trailblazers game today. It's a sad day in Washington, D.C., man.
Ooh, man. Redskins go down, and now the Wizards, man. We're really looking for the Redskins, man, to just make the day better, man. But got to send a shout out to Alex Smith, man. He had a tough injury today. We really pray for a speedy recovery, man. Code 45 is all on you now, baby. So
right.
do your thing, homie.
Prayers up. Prayers up, Alex Smith. Speedy recovery, man. So obviously, after that tough loss to the Texans, we were feeling pretty down. And we're looking forward to this early 6 o'clock Wizard game as a pick-me-up, you know. Let's get us off the snide. Let's get a good feeling before we go to bed Sunday night with a good victory in hand. Let's beat these Portland Trail Blazers, a team that has a winning record. I don't think we beat one of those so far this year, or very few of them at the most. They're 10-5. We came in at 5-10. So these are teams going in the opposite direction. But, hey, we beat this team already this year. Let's get some home cooking and take this team down. What do?
Stunk the place up.
Embarrassing, pitiful performance. I mean, it was like the starters came out with zero energy, couldn't make a shot.
I mean, down by 20 in the first quarter.
32-12. That's what your starters give you. And it was just, like I said, it was over by the end of the first quarter. You might as well find something else to watch. Go tune in on a football game because the game was essentially over. We made a run in the second quarter, maybe 15-0, brought the game back to respectability, got me excited again, but then took a nosedive in the third quarter. Once the starters came in after halftime, same old story, a lethargic start and just a plethora of mistakes. Leaving backdoor cuts open, leaving guys for easy layups, no contention at the rim, leaving Portland Trailblazers was a very good shooting team with wide open threes, just a recipe for disaster. And before you knew it, the game is over.
Bill stayed in foul trouble.
Yep.
Dwight got hurt again. His gluteal whatever.
Gluteus maximus.
Minimus, because he ain't doing nothing.
Astronomical pain this man's going through. I feel for him, but my gosh, man, he only gave us 2 points today. Markieff Morris, another starter, gave us 3 points and 3 rebounds in 19 minutes. And I think Porter gave us 13, but a lot of them were early. And obviously he wasn't a big impact on the game, as always. His man, Kelly Oubre, his counterpart off the bench, had a better game once again.
And he should be starting, if you ask me.
He really should. I mean, it's gotten to the point now where we've got to shake up this line. We've got to make some changes. Scott Brooks talked about it in his post-game press conference. The key word was embarrassing. I must have heard it about 5 or 6 times. I know I was feeling it. I'm glad he said it. Yeah. And he really called out the starters. He said that he's going to put the best 5 players out there, or the 5 players that want to compete. I think he said, quote, "You can't win in this league if you don't compete, and you always lose if you don't." So he's really calling out the 5 guys who come in first and saying that they're not competing out there, and that he was more impressed and more excited and more galvanized by the effort that the bench brought in, who really brought the game back to somewhat respectability. I think we got the lead to maybe 7 points late in the fourth quarter. Never really a threat, but at least you saw something to cheer about, something you can rally behind, something that you can show on tape to show some positive effort.
Now, what Scott Brooks did say was he was very proud of his bench, which I was as well, because these guys came in with the energy that you want and the energy that we needed the whole game. I mean, these guys played like starters tonight. And I'm really proud of you, Oubre, and the rookie, Troy Brown. I mean, you guys came in there and you almost came back and won the game, man, without the starters, man. Like, my hat goes off to you. You know, people like us, real fans, we take pride in that, and we see those things, man. As hard was it not to turn the game off. When we saw you guys fighting back, man, we had to watch it to the end, man.
Sure.
So shout out to the bench, the Wizards bench, the starters, man. You need to sit down, man.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. The bench mob really came in and played well. And, I've been longing and begging for the rookie to get in. He played from 9 minutes in the fourth quarter to the end. So I was just happy to see the rookie get some time. He played against Damon Dash and some of the starters out there as we made a comeback push. That's a great experience for our rookie. He needs that development. He needs that confidence building on the floor. And I'm glad he got the opportunity tonight. Don't like the fact that he had to get in on a 20-point lead during the loss. But He's not getting in during the times when the games are close. So I'll take this, and hopefully that'll be a catapult for him to be a better player. Let's look ahead. We don't want to mire ourselves in this painful loss. Let's wipe our tears away and look ahead to next game. Who we got on Tuesday, man?
We got the Clippers.
All right, LA Clippers coming in. Now they whooped our ass this year. They pretty much beat us by the worst point margin that we beat by so far. They beat us by 32 points early in the year. I think it was 134 to like 102, just really embarrassing effort. And if you think about that press conference, it was almost like the same thing you heard tonight. Yeah. Scott Brooks talking about embarrassing effort, how he's going to shake up the starting lineup, and how he's going to put the best 5 players on the floor that were going to compete. We'll do it. Yeah, change the starting lineup. Put Morris on the bench. Move Porter to the power forward. Start Oubre. I don't care what you do, but stop putting the same starting lineup out there and then complaining about it after the game.
Because what you're doing is not working, bro. And one thing I want to say, man, one note. Chris Dudley, a former Wizard player who plays with the Brooklyn Nets, who played us last game, quoted as saying that their time is up in Washington, meaning, the front court. You've had enough time. It's been a few years. It's not working. It's time to move on. And it's been more than enough time, man. You see it falling apart in our face. So for someone, a former player who has played on this team, to say that, you've really got to take heed to it a little bit, man. So I'm really hoping and praying that our front office is making calls to other teams, trying to make some moves, man. And I mean it, because it's not fair to us that we should have to spend our money to go and watch these people play, man. It's not enjoyable when you spend money to go to a game and you watch these dudes don't compete, and it's like they don't care because they know they're getting paid. I don't respect that, man. And it's not fair to the DC fans that have to go and suffer like that. I feel sorry for the fans that went out there tonight.
Only reason I'm laughing, man, is because asking Brunskill to make some good front office moves is just laughable, nothing. Man. I mean, it's just not happening. 15 years of nothingness. So I'm looking to Scott Brooks because he's under heavy fire right now. I mean, you're talking about a man who we hired 2 years ago for 5 years, $35 million, $7 million a year. I touched on it last week, how he's outgrossing a lot of the other coaches around the league, many of which have better resumes. So let's look at Scott Brooks. When we picked him up, what was he doing? He was sitting on his couch, sitting at home, probably watching SportsCenter. All right. The Oklahoma City told him bye-bye. And this is a man that had Harden, Westbrook, and Durant. He had 3 MVPs and got fired from a job. Like, if you come into 3 MVPs as a coach, right, that's like the biggest blessing in the world, because you're going to have a long career. They're going to make you look great. You're going to win championships. You're going to be look like as Phil Jackson, maybe sitting in the Coaches Hall of Fame. What did this man do? He got the boot, okay, because he could not organize that team well enough for them to exercise their talents and be the best that they could be, and that have gone on to be MVPs at other teams. But either here nor there. Scott Brooks is an embarrassment at the moment. All of this falls on you. Like you said in your press conference, it's on me. You got to make some changes. Stop coming out here with the same lineup and then complain about it after the game. Yeah. I want to see some new bodies in there. I want to see some minutes decrease. I want to see some players' minutes increase, and see if we can turn this thing around, or at least put a better product on the floor, so I'm not running for my ibuprofen after every quarter because of how painful it is to watch these guys play.
And if you tell, you really ask me, when they were down by 20 in the first quarter, they should have been sitting on the pine then.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
They should have been sitting on the bench. I mean, Popovich, man, I always talk about the great coaches. You got to learn from them, man. I don't care who it is on his team. If you do something on Pop's team, you sit on the bench. Yeah. That's just how it is, man. It's no repercussions for anything, man. Like, they just do what they want, man. And everybody stands around, they smile. Like their body language of our starters is just something I'm not feeling, man. And I don't respect. And I refuse to buy another ticket with that, man. I mean, to be honest, I'm going to buy another ticket until they trade somebody in that front court.
Well, trades, asking Kearney Grunfeld, like I said, I got a bad feeling in my heart about that. It's not happening. But what we can do is shake up this lineup. I mean, Scott Brooks, your job, to me, is on the line. Your reputation is on the line. Truth be told, you've never really had a consistent viable offense. But let's look ahead. We got a big game coming up on Tuesday against the Clippers. They're coming in at 10-5. Once again, we're playing a tough team. I think they're number 4 in the Western Conference standings. They got 3 players that are averaging about 20 points a game.
20 points apiece.
Gallinari and
that boy can shoot.
Lou Williams, former 6th man of the year.
He can shoot too.
And a man that we should have traded for a few years ago, Tobias Harris, who was leading them in scoring and really playing well. So they're coming in on a 4-game winning streak. Martian Gortat, the Polish Hammer's coming back in to laugh at us. And
pick and roll.
If we don't get ourselves together, we're gonna be looking at 5-11. I'm sorry, 5-12, and really going down to the cellar of the Eastern Conference. So, hey, let's get this win on Tuesday. We know we got a tough team, but we're gonna do it. All right, we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to
make sure you like, subscribe, and make sure you support DC Sports. This is for the fans of DC, man. It's not just about the Wizards. It's about all the city sports, man. This is for you, man. Have a good night, man.
Love y'all.
Love y'all.